In any industry, the real goal isn't just to cook up a great idea. It's to build a business that can actually last. A fortress, really, that can fend off all the competition. Today, we're blasting off into space to see how one company, AST Spacemobile, is doing just that, using a pretty brilliant competitive strategy.
We have all been there. You know that feeling, right? That moment of pure frustration when you're in a cellular dead zone and you're just completely cut off. It's a universal problem in our modern age, this gap in a world that's supposed to be connected all the time.
Well, AST Spacemobile has a pretty radical solution to that problem. Their whole mission is to make those dead zones a thing of the past, for good. And how? By beaming a cellular signal directly from space to the normal, everyday phone that's already in your pocket. No special gear, no new phone needed.
Okay, so let's get into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about this core idea of a business moat. Then, we'll break down AST's secret sauce, their patents and spectrum rights. After that, we'll look at their powerful partnerships, see how their network gets stronger the bigger it gets, and finally, what this all means for connecting the next billion people. So, to really get what ASTS is doing, we have to start with a key idea in business strategy, the economic moat. I want you to picture a medieval castle, right? It's got these massive walls, a deep body of water all around it. That's the moat. It's what keeps invaders out.
Now, the legendary investor Warren Buffett made this term famous, but it was an analyst named Pat Dorsey who really broke it all down for us. An economic moat is basically a structural advantage that is just incredibly difficult for a competitor to copy or overcome. It's the thing that separates a good business from a truly great, long-lasting one.
And Dorsey's framework is super useful. He gives us 4 main types of moats. You've got intangible assets, things like patents and brand names, high switching costs, which make it a pain for customers to leave, network effects, where a service gets better as more people use it, and finally, cost advantages. We're going to use this list as our guide to see what AST Spacemobile is building.
All right, first up on our checklist, intangible assets. How does ASTS protect itself with things you can't even see but are incredibly valuable? This is all about their secret sauce.
From the very beginning, ASTS has been almost obsessed with protecting its technology. They've built up this huge portfolio of patents covering literally everything, from how their satellites are designed to the complex software that makes it all work. And get this, they even have patent lawyers on staff, which is basically sending a huge signal to any potential copycats, don't even try it.
But, patents are just one piece of the puzzle. Their other massive intangible asset is spectrum. Those are the radio frequencies they have the rights to use. And just based on some recent industry deals, the value of AST's spectrum holdings is conservatively estimated to be over $5.5 billion. That alone is a massive barrier for anyone else trying to get into this game.
Okay, so that covers the tech. But now let's talk about the business model itself, because this is where a really powerful moat starts to take shape. This isn't about their satellites, but about who their customers are and why it's so hard for those customers to leave.
And this right here, this shows the genius of their strategy. See, unlike a company like Starlink that sells directly to you and me, ASTs doesn't do that. They sell to the giants, the AT&Ts, the Vodafones of the world. This means they get to sidestep all the huge costs of finding customers, billing them, and providing support. And more importantly, once a massive telco company integrates the AST's network into its core service, trying to switch to a competitor becomes a logistical nightmare for them. The switching costs are huge.
The power of this B2B, or what they call a super wholesale model, is just staggering. I mean, just look at this list of partners. By working with these huge mobile network operators, or MNOs, ASTS gets instant access to a combined subscriber base of over 2.7 billion people. They don't have to go find customers one by one. They just tap into these enormous, ready-made ecosystems.
And there's this quote that just absolutely nails it. ASTs isn't trying to replace Verizon or T-Mobile. It's giving them a tool that solves their single biggest problem, coverage gaps. They make their partners' businesses better, which means everybody's pulling in the same direction. Everyone wants this to succeed. So this partnership model starts creating this incredible momentum, like a flywheel, which brings us right to our next 2 moats, because they actually reinforce each other: network effects and cost advantages.
So here's how it works. Think about it. ASTS has to spend a ton of money to build and launch its satellites. That's a fixed cost. So the more carriers that join the network and help spread those costs around, the cheaper it gets for every single partner. At the same time, the more partners they have around the world, the more valuable the service becomes for everyone's customers. This creates this powerful gravitational pull, where it almost becomes a competitive necessity for any MNO that's not on the platform to hurry up and join.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at this chart. The strategy is clearly paying off. That orange line shooting up, that's ASTS, showing a steady and dramatic growth in partnerships that's just leaving rivals in the dust. Every single new partner they sign makes their fortress stronger and their moat a little bit wider.
So, what does this all add up to? Well, when you start combining all these powerful interlocking moats, the patents, the spectrum, the high switching costs, the network effects, what you get is a company that could be on the verge of some truly historic growth.
And here's the bottom line. That super wholesale model is the key that unlocks everything. It lets them tap into a potential market of billions of people from day one without spending a single penny on celebrity Super Bowl ads or massive customer service call centers.
Now, to really wrap your head around the scale we're talking about, check this out. It took Netflix a full decade to hit 100 million users. It took TikTok, an absolute phenomenon, 9 months to do the same. AST Spacemobile, through its partners, has a potential market of nearly 3 billion users who could get this service almost overnight. The potential for rapid growth is unlike almost anything we've ever seen.
And that really leaves us with the big question. AST Spacemobile has painstakingly built this multi-layered fortress to dominate a brand new frontier. With moats this deep and this wide, you have to wonder, is this just about one company's success? Are we on the verge of finally making that no-service dead zone a relic of the past? For everyone, everywhere.